Hi, in this brief video I want to talk about some statements made by Yiaser Arafat on the 10th anniversary of her terrorist husband's death. Now, the widow of the deceased terrorist, i.e. PA German, right, she stated that it was time for the region's Arabs, that is those living in the West Bank, Judaism area, to recognize the state of Israel, and that armed struggle to eliminate the Jewish state existence was no longer a plausible idea. We need to clearly express the recognition of Israel, and no one can doubt its existence. So that's what Yiaser Arafat stated on those living in the West Bank, Judaism area. Now, as far as those concerning the Hamas, the Gaza Strip, she stated that since Hamas took over the Gaza Strip, the Fatah leaders and buildings were attacked, she stated. Mrs. Arafat said that Hamas is ruining the futures of Gaza's youth, committing genocide upon its own population, and she adds that Hamas has taken the people in the Gaza Strip as hostages. When I see what is happening in Gaza, it is just genocide. This generation grew up with violence, without education, with only a hope of emigrating. I hope that Hamas will finally understand that it should work towards peace negotiations. They said that my husband, the terrorist Yiaser Arafat, was an obstacle to peace. But we saw what happened to peace after his death. So Mrs. Yiaser Arafat, the wife of a terrorist, so-called PA, German, right, made two statements which are critical towards the Fatah in the West Bank and Hamas in the Gaza Strip. Now, the rest of the article, which I'm reading, talks about the terrorist, so-called PA German. Mr. Arafat was anything but the man who won a Nobel Peace Prize. After his death, Arafat was described by Boston Globe columnist Jeff Jacoby as the man who brought modern terrorism to the world, who inculcated the violence culture of Jew hatred since the Third Reich. Hitler. Time magazine describes some of Arafat's feats: his hand in overseeing military groups responsible for bombing, hijacking, assassinations under his direct or indirect command. In 1991, during the first Palestinian Intifada terror campaign against Israel, Arafat, the terrorist, as PA German, just terrorist, the first popular Arab Islamic conference took place. The event was also attended by infamous jihadi leaders such as Al-Qaeda's Osama bin Laden, Ayman al-Zawahiri, along with delegations from Hezbollah, the Muslim Brotherhood, and other radical groups. Right. Yiaser Arafat's controversial past includes comments that directly contrast those his widow currently espouses, in calling for the elimination of the State of Israel. I quote, "The terrorist, Yiaser Arafat, who was supposedly the PA German, stated, 'We shall never stop until we can go back home and Israel is destroyed. The goal of our struggle is the end of Israel, and there can be no compromises or mediations. The goal of this violence is the elimination of the Zionism from Palestine in all its political, economic, and military aspects. We do not want peace. We don't want victory. Peace for us means Israel's destruction and nothing else.'" So these are the words of a terrorist. But anyway, Yiaser Arafat, the wife of this vile terrorist, made two critical comments about the Fatah in the West Bank and the Gaza Strip, which is good, but not when it changes really anything.